If you clicked on this video, you've likely beat the main story of Pokemon Legends ZA and you're now wondering what to do next. There's plenty for you to do after reaching the post game that comes with a plethora of different rewards, so join me as I explain all of it. And real quick, if you're new, please consider subscribing for more Pokemon content like this. So first up, we have Mabel's research. In my opinion, this is one of the most important things for you to do as soon as you beat the main game story. I don't want to treat you like you're dumb, as you've likely engaged with this system throughout your whole playthrough, but as you'll know, Mabel gives the player a bunch of different quests that give you points. Gather enough points and you'll level up, giving you a special reward. Now for the most part, this primarily includes things like TMs for you to teach your Pokemon new moves. However, the absolute most important reward is all the way at the end at level 50, which gives you the Shiny Charm. Now we'll come back to the importance of this, but if you've played previous games you'll know this drastically boosts your odds of finding a shiny out in the world, and in a game like this, more than likely, this is something you're going to be engaging with. At time of recording, I'm currently level 49, in my final push to finally unlock the Shiny Charm, and I'll tell you now, it takes a lot of effort to get there. You pretty much need to complete every single one of Mabel's quests in order to reach level 50. These quests will include things such as completing your Pokédex, your Megadex, catching hundreds of different Pokemon, so on and so forth. This serves as a very good natural in-game guide to direct the player in their post-game journey. I mean, don't get me wrong, most of you will be aiming to complete your Pokédex anyway, but with a research quest pointing you in that direction and telling you you need to do this if you want the Shiny Charm, it's very useful. All of the research tasks are very straightforward, so just keep checking your journal to see what's left and what's next. I will also say the majority of these are things you will be doing anyway, even if there wasn't a task for it. A good amount of them connect with one another. A prime example would be breaking the Mega Crystals that you can find on the map, which pairs very nicely with completing your Mega Dex, with a decent chunk of those stones only being acquirable via trading Mega Crystals for them. So on one hand, going across the whole map constantly breaking crystals is very tedious, but at least in the process you're also working toward a different challenge. As you start progressing towards the end, it can get very tedious. Currently my main goals are to break a bunch of the Mega Stones across the map and do an ungodly amount of trainer battles. But yeah, keep pushing through, ticking these tasks off one by one, and eventually you will get yourself your hands on the Shiny Charm. Up next we have the Infinite Royale. Now again, after you beat the main game story, this will naturally become available to you, and it displays on map as a main quest, so you can't really miss it. The Infinite Royale functions exactly how it functions throughout your main playthrough. At night time you're going to have to go to the battle zone, work your way up to unlock a challenger ticket, which you can then trade in for your opportunity to face another trainer in battle. Pokemon Legends ZA has a very heavy focus on the battle mechanics, more so than catching in my opinion. However, you may be wondering, is there a tangible reward or reason for me to continue doing this? And there's actually a couple. First and foremost, you get very good rewards for competing in this system, and it's not too difficult to do. If you play efficient, you can get a challenger ticket every single night, especially if you're making sure to do the battle tasks you can pick up on the ground. So while it is a little bit grindy and takes time, it's not too difficult. And completing these battles gives you very important rewards such as bottle caps, which you can use to maximise your Pokemon for the utmost efficiency when you then go to do online play or just for future grinding in general. Plus, who knows what's coming in the future DLC, maybe having a very strong team is going to be important. But additionally, in the process of doing this and getting your challenger ticket, you're going to be acquiring a lot of money in the process. Now we talked about this earlier, but as part of Mabel's research, there are tasks that include things such as completing your Megadex. Some of the Mega Stones you need to do this can only be purchased with money, and a fair amount of it at that. Charizard's Mega Stones, for example, cost over 100,000, so you're going to want a good amount of cash to work up to your Shiny Charm anyway. On the same line of thinking, you're going to need a lot of Pokeballs to complete the research, so it's very helpful there too. This is also the quickest way, in my opinion, to complete the trainer battle research task. Again, needed to work your way up to the Shiny Charm. So the Infinite Royale is 100% worth grinding. Real quick, I wanted to include this honourable mention halfway through the video, and that is to do the side missions across the map. Now the reason this is an honourable mention is because A, you can do these throughout the story anyway, and B, a lot of them offer you rewards you can obtain through regular play. However, there are some pretty interesting side quests that offer very unique rewards, that while it may be possible to acquire them through regular play, it's still pretty easy and convenient to get them via this method. This can include things like the Alolan or Galarian forms, unique battle items, items to improve your Pokemon stats, so on and so forth. There is quite literally hundreds of these side missions, so I'm not going to go into detail as to which ones you should do or where they're located. If you're going for the 100% completion, of course you'll be doing these anyway. And within the coming days, I'm sure many online sources are going to start to fill out as to which missions give what rewards. But in general, it's a nice change of pace. If you spot one of these as you're running past, just take the 2 minutes to complete it. A lot of them you can do almost instantly. And another reason I'd recommend to do it in post game is because there's a fair amount of quests that require you to own a certain Pokemon or to be able to use a very specific move. Doing this in the end game once you've already completed your decks will just make completing them that much easier. Next up, we have the online ranked mode. I know this won't be for everyone and some people won't enjoy doing it. However, there's a very important reward you can get and it doesn't take very long to get it. That being the Mega Stone for Greninja. The only way you can obtain this stone at present is through online play. Once you reach high enough rank, you'll just straight up get it as a reward. In my opinion, it's one of the best megas we have in the game. With that being said, you might be hearing online ranked play and you think to yourself, okay, that's going to take a lot of grinding to get a good team and a lot of grinding to rank up. But in that sense, you're completely wrong. Even if you come 4th place every single time, you will still find yourself ranking up in this system. Only as you push towards the higher end of the equation, do you need to start becoming a bit more optimal in your play. But to unlock the Mega Greninja Stone, as long as you have a decent team that you use on your playthrough, it will be sufficient enough. Of course, there are then further rewards you can get if you want to push to get all the way up to A rank, and I would assume with each new season there will be an additional Mega Stone for us to claim, at least for the Kalos starters. And then we have shiny hunting. In Legends Arceus, shiny hunting was pretty much the only thing to do in endgame, and don't get me wrong, that was very fun, especially with that game's main focus being on catching. But in Legends ZA, shiny hunting works a bit different. Of course, ideally if you want to be most efficient, try and grind out your shiny charm first, that's what I've been doing. However, different people enjoy shiny hunting at different paces and via different methods. With every game, shiny hunting is pretty much the main pastime for players who have done everything else, and gives you a collection challenge after having completed the Pokédex. I'd imagine a fair amount of you have already found a shiny or two along your playthrough, but for now I'll show you the main shiny hunting methods as far as we know thus far. So in ZA, there's actually a very good mechanic that works in the background that stores up to 10 shiny Pokemon that have spawned on your map. As you can imagine, with there being so many different wild zones, rooftops and alleyways, more than likely a shiny Pokemon is on your map somewhere, you just haven't found it. Normally, if you were to close the game, fast travel somewhere, etc., that shiny Pokemon would be gone forever and you would never even know it existed. However, in Legends ZA, the game secretly stores up to 10 shiny Pokemon in the background so that no matter what you do, it will always be there until you engage with it. So while you'll be doing this method, you may not be finding your target, but other shinies may be spawning that you can go find later. But yeah, the main method for finding shinies in this game is quite literally to fast travel to a wild zone, and yeah, that's it. Every time you fast travel, you'll be refreshing all the Pokemon on the map. So if you want to be really efficient, you can constantly open up your map, fast travel to a wild zone that you want to target, and after doing it 10 times or so, you can run through the area, check if anything's spawned, if not, repeat the process. I'm sure a lot of you have also had the Wild Area 3 method on your YouTube homepage at some point. In this specific area, there is a section where you can walk up and down the stairs. Every time you do that, you'll be refreshing all of the Pokemon in the area. You can completely do this AFK if you have a rubber band, and it's one of the easiest methods. With the shiny charm, your odds are going to be approximately 3 to 4 times better, which is why I recommend you to do that first via Mabel's research. But if you're a full odds enjoyer, that is the main gist of how you shiny hunt in this game. And with all that being said, those are the main things for you to do in the post game of Pokemon Legends Arceus. The city is filled with different activities for you to go enjoy, so naturally I'm sure there is something I've left off this list. If you feel I have missed something, please leave a comment down in the description so other people can enjoy it after they beat the main game. If you made it this far or learned something new, please consider subscribing and like the video. I've been having a really good time with the game so far, and I hope to make more videos on it. So likewise, let me know in the comment section if you have anything you would like a video on. Thanks for watching.